Hello and welcome to Reykjavík Grapevine's newscast. My name is Valur Grettison and I am an editor-in-chief at Reykjavík Grapevine. We are here in Garðabær. It's a small town next to Hafnarfjörður, between Hafnarfjörður and Kópavogur. Not many visit this town, tourists at least. Basically because it's not a very touristic town. A lot of people just live here. But they have lovely areas where they go to have walks and so on. And we're going to show you one of these areas. It's very close also to where the president in Iceland lives. I love this area. I have relatives that live very close by here. That's why I know about this. And it's a very nice place to be at. But before we start, by the way, the weather is horrible, but it's not a storm. This is like a typical January weather. It's a little bit colder and windier than usually, but this is how it used to be all the time. So it's quite refreshing. So we decided to go outside and show you a little bit how the weather is. Also, Pollý needs her exercise, and I'm going to tell you also, Pollý had a flu the other day, and I'll tell you about that also. Before we start, we have tomorrow's newsletter's quiz question. So if you want to participate in this quiz, you have to hit the link downstairs, and there you will find a link to our newsletter. And if you know the answer to the question, then write it in the newsletter. And I don't know exactly how that works, but just subscribe to the newsletter and answer it there. If you answer down here, just in the comment, it's not valid, but it's more than fine if you do. So here's the question though, and this is a fun one. Which of these is not a common male given name in Iceland? Is it A, greni or spruce in English? Is it B, hlynur or maple? Is it C, reynir or mountain ash? Or is it D, víðir or willow? Icelanders actually name a lot of their children and often named by trees and flowers and so on. Of course, this is often in many cultures. Hello. So this is of course in many cultures like this, but all of these names actually make sense. This is a quite hard one, but it's definitely interesting. So also the winner that will win this quiz, he will get our volcano visitors box, which is brilliant. So if you're gonna visit the volcano, our marketing department has put together all the stuff that you need if you're gonna go and visit the volcano. So you also just check that out. It's a brilliant thing to do. So let's go for another thing. To participate, you need to reply to tomorrow's newsletter before 4 p.m. I think in Icelandic time on Friday, which is tomorrow. So today is the 13th of January. It's also the birthday of my girlfriend. So it's a nice day, like you can see. So let's go on with the news. The first news today, at least, is that we had our fifth COVID death. This fourth wave is pretty bad, and what happened is, of course, that we have now 5 deaths in this new year. It's not the 5 deaths in this wave. I think there are around 12 these deaths, but 5 only from the beginning of this year. Of course, Omicron is taking over slowly. We have 20,000 people either in quarantine or in isolation with the virus, and 20,000 is, keep in mind, it's around 5 to 7% or something of the Icelandic nation. So just do the math if you live in the UK or the US or Germany or whatever. This is incredible. There are incredibly many. You want to go here? More into the wild, okay? There are still the same restrictions as before. The government announced this on Tuesday, the same day as you saw my last newscast. They said that it's going to be the same. It's like 20 people in gathering ban. It's the same with these with the quarantine rules. If you have the 3 shots, you can quarantine a little bit differently. You don't have to like isolate yourself at home. You can go to work and so on. Just wear masks and so on. And same as if you have had 2 shots and also recently had the virus. It's impossible to throw in this wind. But so it goes. Almost 266 children are in outpatient centers with COVID. This is like very high because children, they were not getting the virus before. And the thing is that well, they were getting the virus, but not so many, and they were not in these outpatient centers, and they were just not concerned at all. All in all, there are around 2,600 children that have had the virus, or have the virus in Iceland, and it's quite a lot, to be honest. And the thing is that, of course, we are vaccinating everyone under 12 years old. Yeah? Pollý. We are, of course, vaccinating the children. And the thing is that, Italy, for example, we went for a vaccination on Tuesday, sorry. And it was pretty easy and nice, to be honest. It was very, very interesting to take the child there. So a lot of children there. They were like in the vaccination process. We had like there was a play going on and music, and it was actually just like being in like in a weird like theater or something. It was it was very different, to be honest. So, and also he got the vaccination and he's fine. He was a little bit hurt in the arm, like we all were, but he was not complaining that much. So he is, so that's actually good news. So Italy is now vaccinated, and I hope that will be it. And it's really helping when it comes to the hospitals, because there are a lot of concerns about the infrastructure, about everything. For example, the quarantine hotels, I mentioned this the last time, it's not like you cannot rely on getting space there. If you get the COVID and have to isolate, at least not immediately. You could get it a little bit later on. Whoa. There is also concern about the hospitals and the infrastructure there, as well as even what do you call it, like with the ambulance transporting people. There has been this has been like not without challenges, and it's becoming heavier and heavier by every day. So this Omicron, we have like it's like a combination of Omicron and Delta. We're still having the Delta strain all around, but the Omicron is really going around. But the good news is for how many are actually infected, there are not that many either in critical care or at the hospital in itself, like at the same in the hospital. They are like, well, not yet, of course, but it could change quite quickly. You know this, of course, as well as I do. But enough of COVID. I want to talk about thunderstorms. Thunderstorms in Iceland are very rare, to be honest. And thunderstorm and lightnings in the northern hemisphere are, in general, very rare. But last year, 2021, there was a record in the northern hemisphere, like all of the Nordic countries, as well as the northern the glaciers in the north. Anyways, it's completely stolen from me. The thing is that we had around 7,000 lightnings in 2021. which is more than we have had in the past 9 years combined. And just so you understand like the difference here, in the US in 2021 there were around 190 million lightnings. So it's not very common. But last year, even I saw actually a lightning storm. I drove through it, and it's quite something. I have never seen that before in my life, at least not in Iceland, and not either anywhere else. Of course, like the reason for this is global warming, because what you need to have a lightning storm, you basically need humidity as well as warm air. This is something that is not much of in the Northern Hemisphere. It's odd, but it's an ominous reminder of the global warming. At the same time also, we are not very well prepared for this. For example, last summer when I saw this, there was a huge blackout in the area where I was, and also we barely know what to do if in a storm like this, what is safe and so on. So it could be a bit more dangerous for us in the north, what to do in these situations. While you perhaps know it much better at least if you're in the US. This is of course happening everywhere. There was also a record of lightning storms actually in the US last year and other countries. So this is it's interesting for sure. Also, and here's some news for those that are into crypto coins. I love crypto coins actually. I know it's problematic in some ways, and I'll tell you why of course. But crypto coins is a very exciting kind of a thing. The thing is, of course, you know, Bitcoin and so on. We have in Iceland like these data mining centers, which is not data mining, like crypto mining, like data centers. One of them is Valur Global. Valur Global actually announced that they are doubling their activity, and they're getting way too bad here. I'm just gonna stand here. I finished this. These companies, they actually have like these huge warehouses, like hundreds of computers, if not thousands, and the only thing they do is basically they look for they mine for these crypto coins. The downfall, of course, about this industry in general is that they use so much energy and they burn so much oil and coal and so on that is very, very bad for the environment and the global warming and so on. But the thing is, of course, in Iceland, we use... Jesus. There's like hail. In Iceland, we of course use... We have to go somewhere else, right? In Iceland, we actually use renewable energy, which we use from the waters, like waterfalls and so on. We build dams. But the thing is, there is like an energy shortage right now, and this has actually been very problematic for these companies, except Valur Global, which is actually doubling their activities. We hope they will manage to do so. But for example, we have a state-owned electricity company in Iceland called Landsvirkjun, and they have announced that they are not giving all companies energy. This is perhaps like when you think about like energy shortage, it doesn't affect us at all, but it affects companies. It's impossible to talk to. Did you go somewhere else? Okay. So the worst thing actually about these weathers are like when it's so windy and you're getting the snow in your face, you can't really take that clear. that's like, it's impossible to tell the news, but it's fun. So what was I saying? Yeah, energy shortage in Iceland. there is an energy shortage in Iceland, and this doesn't mean that it's cutting power to the public. They would never do that actually, but they are cutting energy to companies. This means that companies that make, for example, and this is just one of few, makes fishmeal, they are not getting power, so they have to rely on burning oil until in May this year. This is problematic because, of course, it's polluting everything and so on, and they are actually this is a long period of time. I haven't seen this before, and the CEO of Landsvirkjun, our state-owned electricity company, they say that we need to have better grids, like electricity grids, so however you would put that in English, and that means that we need more dams. That's basically what he's saying, and there are some dams actually that we are planning. And we need to see how that goes. Often these dams are very controversial because we don't want to sink our land, and so it goes. I mean, this is a very old debate in Iceland. We are not that fond of this, especially when we're giving this energy to some smelt plants and so on. We want to use this power or energy into something else. But the thing is, the data mines, crypto coin mining, this is actually, Iceland is actually a very good place for that because we are using this renewable energy, but this has been a blow to their activity, so they can't really use, they can't service everyone, and it could even affect, for example, the price in crypto coins. And you saw what happened in Kazakhstan also. I'm kind of assuming that you've been watching that, but that was one of the sparks there that for the revolution that is happening there, which is done actually now, was, for example, how they are approaching the crypto coin and how much energy they're using for it. And the energy shortage, which was there, was actually the people there were not getting energy, but the companies were, unlike in Iceland. So we're hoping that the energy shortage will not be that for that long. We know now it definitely will be for 5 months, yeah, I mean, as long as they don't cut my internet, I'm fine though, to be honest. Yeah, so this is way too bad weather for anything else, but Pollý is loving this. She is, of course, a hectic snow dog. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that. She got sick actually the other day. She got what you call kennel cough in English, or hotel hosti in Icelandic. And she got this very nasty cough, and she was a little bit, I wouldn't say less energetic, we barely saw it, but we heard the ugly cough. But thankfully she is good now. This is going around now, and the animal, the government body of animal control, they are researching this, and they have been giving dog owners instructions to be aware about this, and that this is a flu that goes very easily spreads very easily between dogs, at least. At least I didn't get it. I hope not. But yeah, so there's a dog flu in Iceland, and they are doing the research and finding out what this is, but they think it's definitely this kennel cough. I don't know much more about it, but she is very healthy afterwards, like you can see, and she is very, very excited. Hey, so thanks for watching, and see you on Tuesday. Oh, one more thing. Remember our membership. Our membership is still spiking. It's really fun, and we really appreciate it. So keep in mind. Ready?